Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am Comic Hero. Now, as y'all can see, I'm not at Uncharacteristic Studios. Instead, I'm in a hotel room in Lafayette. Now, the reason I'm in a hotel room in Lafayette is simple. I'm out here for Louisiana Comic Con. It's tomorrow. I'm going to be there in full force. I know a lot of folks are going to be there in full force. Some of y'all, now as I'm doing this episode, Louisiana Comic Con has already happened. But, I just wanted to do the episode out here because in the comic books I bought this week's segment, it's not just going to be comics that I bought from Excalibur Comics earlier this week, but it's also going to be comics that I bought at Acadiana Comics and Collectibles in Lafayette earlier. And in about a few days is St. Patrick's Day. And as y'all can see, this is a St. Patrick's Day Comic Hero tee that I'm wearing. And then you have the Shamrocks on each side. I even have a green bandana. How about that? But anyway, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, last week's episode I asked, who was the first black superhero in the DC universe? Now this question, technically, the answer is Malcolm Duncan when he became a Teen Titan. But in terms of an actual superhero name, or an actual character with a superhero name, it's the John Stewart Green Lantern, who debuted a year later. Now, that's kind of a hard question because, yeah, sure, Malcolm Duncan became a member of the Teen Titans, although he didn't go by the moniker the Herald until a few years later. And then John Stewart made his debut a year after Malcolm Duncan did. So if you answered either Malcolm Duncan or the John Stewart Green Lantern, I need your name in the drawing. And there are 5 people who answered either one of those, and because they answered correctly, their names are being in the drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Logan Knudsen from Bossier City, Louisiana. So congratulations, Logan. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Now, the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight segment is usually a segment where I'll let viewers make the fight request. But every so often, I come up with my very own. And this one features 2 gingers who believe in mind over matter. Representing DC, we have Omen. And representing Marvel, we have Jean Grey. These 2 are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Omen versus Jean Grey. Omen possesses several mental abilities, including precognition, limited telepathy, and teleportation. Jean Grey possesses telekinesis, telepathy, and astral projection. While acting as an avatar for the Phoenix Force, her powers are magnified. Who will win? You would think that Jean would win this fight hands down, but not so fast. Jean would use her entire power set on Omen, but the latter would avoid each attack via her precognition and teleportation. Jean starts to become frustrated and the Phoenix Force is unleashed. Jean goes on the attack again. Omen tries to use her precognition, but is unable to. That's because Jean Grey telekinetically disables Omen's powers. Jean wins the fight by causing Omen to spontaneously combust with a single thought. Jean Grey wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that fight. If you have fight requests for future episodes, contact info is down there. Alright, folks, it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! All right, there are two things we're going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking, and the first one is my review of Captain Marvel. Now, I went to see it this past Monday, and I think the movie was amazing. Now, prior to going to see it, there were some folks that weren't very happy about it. I mean, and a lot of them were folks who just didn't approve of some of the way some of the things that were written in the script. But let me go ahead and tell you this: if you're a comic book nerd, then it just like I am, then you need to stop. You need to start keep having an open mind, because if all these writers and producers followed every movie that they made to the letter of the original comic series, then we'd call it boring. Just keep an open mind. And there were a few backstories about some of the things that are currently going on in the Marvel Universe. By the way, Captain Marvel takes place in the year 1998. Well, part of it takes place in 1992. The other part takes place in 1998. Mostly in 1998, by the way. And I mean, the writing was great, casting was great, music was great. Pinar Toprak, who did the music. Now here's one thing about Pinar Toprak. She is the first female composer of a Marvel movie since Marvel Studios got started. The first one, and she killed it. But that's not the first time that she's actually worked on the music for a comic book movie. She actually did some of the music for Justice League back in 2017, along with the great Danny Elfman. And again, she killed it. And of course, this kind of sets the tone for the upcoming Avengers Endgame movie that's coming out in theaters at the end of next month, and I'm so excited. I mean, April 26th just couldn't get here any quicker. But Captain Marvel, if you haven't seen it, go. You won't be disappointed. And if you are disappointed, well, that's your problem. All right, the second thing, and I just found this out a few hours ago. Marvel Studios has rehired James Gunn to direct the third installment of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this comes not even a year after he was fired by Marvel Studios, all because of a tweet that resurfaced back in 2009 that was very tasteless. Well, whatever works. I mean, he did a great job directing the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and he's currently writing and directing the script. Directing the second installment of Suicide Squad for DC and Warner Brothers. Oh, by the way, and I just want to throw this in for free. Speaking of the second installment of Suicide Squad, Will Smith. The reason why he stepped away from playing the role of Deadshot in the movie is because of scheduling conflicts. It had absolutely nothing to do with James Gunn or any other cast and crew. It was only scheduling conflicts. And there's been a rumor that Idris Elba may step in and play the role of Deadshot. I can dig it. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, first up is Young Justice number 3. Shazam number 2. Shazam number 3. Avengers number 16. Batman number 66. The Green Lantern number 5. Justice League number 19. Uncanny X-Men number 13. Avengers No Road Home number 2. Avengers No Road Home number 3. Avengers No Road Home number 4. Age of X-Man Alpha. The Amazing Nightcrawler number 1. Apocalypse and the Extracts number 1. And finally, Marvelous X-Men number 1. Alright, that's 15, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 9,224. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. What is the name of the alien cat in the Captain Marvel movie? Everyone who answers correctly will be in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Logan Knutson from Bossier City, Louisiana, who won a free tee in this week's episode. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I need to get some sleep. I mean, tomorrow's the first day of Louisiana Comic-Con, and I don't want to be late. And it's going to be great. I mean, really love going to Louisiana Comic-Con. Overall, this is the 6th one that I've gone to. The 4th one here in Lafayette. And there have been 2 of them that have been in, one in Bossier City and then one on the Louisiana State Fairgrounds in Shreveport. And let me tell you, going to Louisiana Comic-Con is a ton of fun. Really love it. Can't wait for the next one. And also, I'm going to be going to GeekCon in August. Now, if there are any more cons that are happening in the area, I'm going to try to go to. I've been, my friend Alicia White from Raleigh, North Carolina, who I went to college with at Louisiana Tech, she had told me about Raleigh SuperCon. I may try to come to that. I mean, that's a really, really big maybe. But wherever there's a con, I'll try to come to it. All right, I'm Victor Nunley on the Comic Hero. I'll see you for episode 248, the Louisiana Comic-Con episode. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.